So I think that we are live at our first webinar. I mean, we are all need to get a bit used to it that we are going to do this live, but that's also nice of it. So I have on the left of me, I have Maddie.
The real one.
The real Maddie.
The
Yeah, we have
AI
two.
one.
We have a digital Maddie and we have a real Maddie. And we have Andrew from After Sales. So both are going to support me with the information that we're going to give you about our beautiful project and also the steps that you're going to follow if you're buying. So I think that we can start already. We have quite a lot of people, more than we thought actually. Is it already 5 o'clock? Yeah, it's 5 o'clock. Are we going to start already? Perfect. So, again, my name is Ted Oorbals. I'm going to give a little introduction about our project, where we are, what we are doing. We got already quite some emails from people as well, already asking what we thought from or the ideas that they had, and they wanted to know certain information about the progress of the resort and apartments. So this is fantastic in this webinar that we can explain everything what we do here. I start with, let's say, the basis of the project. We have a project of 3.6 million square meters, and I know there are people also looking who already bought with us, or there are people who is this for the first time. So maybe for some people I'm repeating, but I think it's good to have the grand picture. So the resort that we have with 3.6 million square meters, we're going to build on 3 pillars. So we have 3 ingredients of what is going to be the concept driven behind the resort. One of them, which we already started, is of course our residential units. We have started with the project of Las Vistas and Santolinas. The Azaleas have already been built. So these are all units that are mainly used for residents, semi-residents, people that want to live there or even want to rent it out. The second pillar is we want to focus on services for, let's say, seniors is not the right word. We call it more serviced units that can be apartments, but can be also houses. The idea is that we're not just going to make apartments that are for the elderly, but creating a serviced apartment that has amenities more based on lifestyle than on the curative industry. But it means also that the houses that we are building them with wider doors and making them on such a way that you can receive those services also at home. The third leg that we are going to do is purely based on the hotel and wellness and sports facilities. So that's more, as we say in Spain, the ocio department, or where we're going to have 600 touristical apartments with an hotel and with surf lake and sports facilities. So about that a little bit later. But to start, the resort is built on those 3 pillars. So where are we at this moment? We got, of course, a lot of questions about which facilities will start. For us personally, the most important thing is the green zones. We have been, for the people who visited us, we have a lot of green zones throughout the resort, and also green zones that are very big and spacious, and that are going to be a very important function within the resort. The only problem is that is something that is not in our hands, so it's not something that we can construct. You see here on the picture all the blue marked zones. What are our green zones? Every license that we get for every house or every project, we as a developer are obliged to deposit a guarantee or an X amount of money to the town hall next to the cost of our licenses, so that the local government is responsible to build these green zones. Of course, we have bought this resort from the previous developer who had also deposited guarantees. But in the meantime, we have gathered about 2.5, almost 3 million euros, what we have deposited together with the old bond to the town hall. And we were promised that finally they would start with the green zones. But finally, we are nearing the point that this is finally going to happen. We even got the attention from the mayor and all the local governments, even from the touristical governments, the development government. So we count on it that hopefully before the summer and otherwise after the summer, the first start of the green zones will happen. So this is for us a very important part, because that means also it gives our resort a bit more cachet, but it takes also away the open spaces. And even on top of that, we are planning to replant a lot of trees. One big question we often get also, how is it with the services on the resort? What is already available? Now, at this moment, we have a commercial center with one restaurant already open, a very nice restaurant actually, and we have a very nice restaurant with spectacular views next to the golf caddy, where you get your tea times with the caddy master. Sorry. So we have already 2 restaurants, but of course, for us, the most important thing is we have a finished commercial center. We have been waiting a long time because this is something that was not owned by us, but we now finally got a signal that the last bits and pieces of the commercial center will be picked up, and we can expect very soon other companies to open their businesses. We got already some interest from supermarkets, from various entrepreneurs who want to open a space there. And I think that you see that also with your clients. The first question they always ask you, yes, when is the commercial center going to open? So the green zones and the commercial center, that are for us 2 of the main objects that we want to finish this year. And how it looks like now is that that will be successful this year. Of course, we have the Parador. We have a huge construction going on in our Parador. This is something on the back of me, if you see now also a video of it. The Parador is from 1620. With its own little church. It's completely being rebuilt, but with the respect of the old structure. We will have 3 big bars in the space, a terrace overlooking the golf course. We will be ready for events. We will be ready for golf tournaments. So this is the heart of the resort and very necessary. We expect to finish the construction around September this year, and the opening between December and January. That we will welcome the first people. Actually, I hope that we will have our Christmas party in the Parador, but no pressure there. No pressure there. But that's a bit the idea. So that's a bit, let's say, the 3 upcoming major changes in our resort that would really change the complete presentation of our project, and I think that everyone agrees with that. We started with the senior living project. As I said before, it's more serviced than just seniors. We want to make a double function in these apartments, especially now with our cooperation with Sotheby's. We signed last week an agreement with them, with Sotheby's Spain, but Sotheby's internationally. And that will bring us also a complete new type of clientele who is looking for a luxury lifestyle. So we are creating with our service departments a product that is very high in it's actually an apartment with hotel services. We are looking for people that can buy that them for themselves, but also to buy it as an investment and rent it out. Then one of the questions, of course, we also got, we have the golf course open. We have 18 holes at the moment playable, especially after the rain we got. It's now beautiful, beautiful green, especially normally in this time of year when we have had already a long time of drought. It's a bit less, but now it looks in its full glory. But again, we have also space left over for another 9 holes. So at the end, we will come back to 27 holes. When the other 9 holes will be done, I think if we're going to start with it, it will be done when we reach a capacity within the 18 holes that we are really in need of an additional 9 holes. But that will grow with the resort, and in the meantime, that space is being used for a lot of people walking with their dogs or having an evening stroll, because it's a beautiful landscape we have there. Another question that we got is what's the rental opportunities on the resort? We often try to rent for potential clients and unit ourselves to offer from come and try and visit our resort. We are in the lucky situation that almost all houses that are for rent are rented out. I think that we have one client on Las Vistas, and who has, after his delivery of his house, 32 weeks already rented out.
Pretty much fully booked.
It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
So that is also for the people that want to buy as an investment, very good news. But it shows also a bit how the location of our resort, how it is. We are 15 minutes away from the center of Mushia. We are 15 minutes away from the beaches. And directly attached to a huge nature area. And I see every day more how people are welcoming the nature area and making use of the nature area. So next to that, the region is really developing and under development. We just got the news that there are going to be 8,900 or 8,700 houses going to be built in the region of Mushia. That's for us, of course, fantastic news. For us, nothing changes because our resort is completely defined. How your views are going to be, which percentage we are going to build, nothing is going to change that. But if in the area of, for example, Banhos de Mendigo and Corvera, in the future, because that will take at least between 5 and 10 years before those constructions start, those 8,000 houses are extra going to be built. That means a very positive for our price increases, but it shows also that we are making something where in the future a lot of development is going to be. So that means also that we will have much more facilities, shops coming around, green zones. So the whole area of Banhos and Mendigo, of the plans what I saw, a lot of developments are planned, not just houses, but also general facilitations. It has a positive effect also on our airport. We are 7 minutes away from our airport of Corvera. We have now flights coming in from Belgium, England, Ireland, Scandinavia, yes. But of course we are missing Holland, and we would like to have some more connectivities, and also in the winter. But that will, next to our support, and I've had meetings with the Concejal of Tourism. They are very open and very willing to cooperate with us, especially because of the big development that we are doing. You will see that also the region around us, not just us, but also the region around us is in development. And that will mean also a lot for the people who are looking at their investment, not just as a residential use, but also because they want to buy it for future pension investment. This is a very positive effect. I want to highlight one thing more because we got a lot of questions about that. That is the surf lake that we are building, or what we are going to build. I think it's important to mention. I don't know if we have also some information to show about that. But we have something like that. We don't build ourselves. We don't do ourselves. This is something that is so big. We're going to do that with partners who have already knowledge and operating surf lagoons like this. But what is very important is the studies of the wind and the studies of the temperatures, and also the study of the bases, the ground where we want to build this. I myself have visited various locations and various operators. And I'm very proud to say that we have found a very strong operator who is doing internationally a lot of these surf lagoons with a lot of experience, who are now investing an enormous amount of time and efforts with architects determining how this is going to be built and where. And for example, we made our design in the corner. But there it cannot be built. We all know what has happened in Valencia after the heavy rains with the floods. So we really had to restudy the flood studies of there's the coffee machine.
Coffee.
The flood studies, because we are directly attached to a huge nature area, and a lot of rain is coming from that nature area passing our resort. So it was very important to look where we are going to place the lagoon and how does it affect with if we have heavy rains. So we got now the first studies from the company. They have made a new location for the lagoon. Even for us a bit better, because we can now use the full surroundings of the lagoon for our hotel, but also our wellness center. And then looking at all the for not changing too much the heights of the terrain. Also looking where we're going to do the tennis fields and the paddle fields. But it's a huge project because what we want to do is we want to create not just a lifestyle where we sell a house. Our idea is to sell a healthy lifestyle. I'm walking around, for example, with an Aura ring. With these people, we have created also a cooperation for our hotel that we're going to measure people in how they live, what's their stress, how they sleep. So the concept is creating a blue zone concept resort where we build, of course, houses with facilities and services, but also build around the aspect of healthy living and longevity. We have also partners from the US with whom we are going to do the longevity clinic. We have partners with whom we are going to do the sports and the wellness clinic. So this is a project not just done with us, but with a lot of big partners and a lot of brainstorm sessions and also market studies. I mean, we are recently with the definition of what we are going to build here. We have finished a very thorough market study, and that shows also that where the demographics are going, people are looking more than just for a house. They're looking more than just a property in Spain or just an investment, but they want to have it also sustainable. They want to have it also, it needs to have a function. And I think with that, we differentiate ourselves tremendously. I don't know. Am I missing something? What for?
I think you
Yeah.
nailed every point.
Okay. Now, this is our
Yeah.
first webinar, and the idea is also to hold them in Spanish, to hold them also in Dutch. And we do it now in English to see that we can reach as much people as possible. And we want to go also more deeper dive in the different areas of our project. And I have here the map in front of me, and if I look at all the different projects, what we have, the status, for example, of Las Vistas, we have there now
Almost 80% sold out.
I think 12 properties in
Yes.
total we have left.
Yeah.
Oasis, we have started. We had hoped to start in October, but sadly enough, we can only start now. Not completely our fault, but it was the bureaucracy of Mushia. It has helped us for the future because although we had almost 2 years waited 2 years for our license of Oasis, we got now within Town Hall the agreement that every project that we now launch, within 6 months we can start construction. So that is for us very good news. We had to suffer it with Las Vistas and Oasis, but now it will go much faster. We have now how many units sold?
24.
24?
Yes.
24 units sold in Oasis. Ground movement has started. It's a project of total 72 units.
Right.
So I think that we have done very well before construction, selling out a third of the project. That's exceptional, to be honest. We're very proud of that, especially the designs that we have created. We try to make every project a bit of different design and make it blend into the nature. For example, at Las Vistas, and if you look at it, it blends completely into the mountains. Oasis, we're going to use more with palm trees, the types of pools, but also a little bit Ibiza, Mediterranean style houses. But the concept is always wide living rooms, spacious bedrooms.
Privacy, which is one
Privacy,
of the
yeah,
most
exactly.
important.
We always try to look at the privacy effect. We always make the joke, if you need to be able to swim naked in your own pool without checking if your neighbors are there. It's a little detail, but if you make a house like that, it gives you the privacy that you want. Santolinas, we have sold quite a lot of those big units. There are quite some constructed as well. We are going to start now with 3 new ones, or 4 new ones. We're going to start construction, so that is going well as well. And Retama, of course. Retama is our latest project. We just got the license, I think now 2 weeks ago, or a week,
Yes.
2 weeks ago. And we are now preparing all the contracts. We're now preparing the construction planning. And here is where we're going to start as well. So we have quite a variation of products. The only thing that is missing at this moment is apartments that we don't have. And the good thing is also is that if I look at the first phase and I look at the apartments who were built in the past, if there is a house for sale, it is sold within a week. There are no houses for sale at the moment in the first phase. Apartments are also not available, also not for rent. So we see that there's a high demand for properties that are already finished. So that's also a reason that we are going to try to build ahead. I mean, it depends how fast the sales go, but we want to build a bit more than we are selling to be also able to offer houses like with Las Vistas now, that we can give a unit with the key right away. And we have now 2 units in the second phase, I believe.
Yes.
We have 2 units left. One at the back row, actually, that surprised me that we still have this beautiful house with open access to the mountains. And then we have in row 4, we have 1 unit available. So yeah, I mean, very exciting. A lot of beautiful projects. The resort really starts to look very nice. The summer has started. So, Madi, you're not just sitting here because you're much more handsome than I am. We see you, of course, in a lot of our videos.
Fading everyone's
Yeah,
phones
and we even have created the digital Madi,
Yes.
our AI, so you can.
I gave her a break now.
Okay.
So
okay.
I am
She's
taking
on
the lead right now.
Okay, she's on the break. But the beauty of that is that yeah, you can phone our AI and you can ask any question you want about our resort, and she's always in a good mood, and she works
So am I.
and she works 24/7. But you're not working 24/7,
Well,
but
no.
she is.
Yes, she is.
And but it helps you also if you say, how is that, and you want to have some questions and you want to ask us some questions, and you don't want to have right away a salesperson on the phone who's going to call you back and are you still interested? No, you have here AI and you can ask our AI everything about our project.
And the good thing about it is that we train her every day so that the common questions we see people ask us, we train her so she's prepared. So she's going through a phase right now of learning, but any questions she can assist you with.
I see a comment that our camera is not working. Is that solved? That's done? Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, but you meet a lot of our clients. What type of clients are buying with us?
Absolutely. I mean, we have a variety of clients, people that are looking for semi-permanent living, permanent living, holiday only. In terms of clients, we have a variety of a mixture of nationalities, now predominantly Dutch and Belgians, obviously, but is also followed by Dutch, by English, Spanish, Scandinavians, Polish. So there's quite a mixture. And I think one of the reasons that people come to us mainly is because of our location. I mean, the one thing that this place has 100% the best is our location. We are basically so close to the beach in about 20 minutes, but you're not right in the rush of the tourists and
No traffic
crowd
jam,
and
no traffic jams. to go to the beach.
absolutely. We're directly connected to a highway and it's quite easy access to go to the city. You're in 15 minutes in Murcia city, 20 minutes in Cartagena. So location wise, you are a bit away from everything, but close to everything at the same time.
Yeah, but not just the beach. The beauty, what I think, I live here now for 25 years, is that you have the selection of which beaches you want to go. So
Of course,
I can go to, let's say, Campo Amor, which is more touristical, or I go to the Mar Menor, and because that's a much longer season. I actually have my boat in the Mar Menor, but I can also go in direction to Cartagena and Masaron area.
Yeah.
And so I can go to fishing villages. I can go to a little restaurant that's at the beach. The variation where we can go, I think
Yes.
that makes the location very nice. But most importantly for me, to live here is Mushia.
Absolutely. What a beautiful city.
Yeah, it is clean,
Yes.
it is safe, but yeah, but it's an undiscovered city. I remember when I came living in Murcia. Everyone I told I'm living in Murcia. They said Murcia, where's Murcia? And I needed to explain that it is 100 kilometers under Alicante. But Murcia it was a bit forgotten, and now it is getting very fancy. It's now getting in. I hear now a lot of people. Oh, you're living in Murcia. Oh, how nice.
Absolutely, but there's a lot of people coming from up north down here simply because, those regions are overpopulated, construction is out of control. And you mentioned something very important. With our resort, at least we know everything where and what is going to be built. And recently I had clients coming from, I think, near Alicante, near Orihuela Costa. They bought a beautiful house, and a couple of years later, they had a block of apartments right in front of them built, taking the sun away. There's completely no sun around the pool. So this is the most important thing, I think, because
But as
here
it
with
is
us,
fixed, it is
it's fixed.
fixed.
So you know what you're getting. There's really no surprise.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, and of course then the direct access to the nature area. I mean, for me, walking with my dogs every day, having that at my doorstep, yeah, fantastic. So I have the best of three worlds. We have the beach, we have the city, and we have the nature. And yeah, what can we say?
Yeah,
But
absolutely.
so they're buying because they want to live here for our
Yes,
location.
mainly, yes, yes, or semi-permanent. So obviously, but then we also have people looking for investment because, like you said, there's hardly any rentals available, and at the moment we don't have the hotel yet. So for the beauty about this resort is that we have season pretty much all year round in terms of rental. So now we have the holiday makers, and then from September, October until March, you have the golfers. So here you rent out all year round. And we also have people, Azalea, for example, is a fantastic project to invest. At the moment, we're renting those units, and already summer is fully
Yeah.
booked. There's practically no
Yeah,
availability.
that's nice that you say that because
Um,
we built those properties, and then we had it because we wanted to have them key ready,
yeah.
but we had so much demand for rental, so that we started to rent them out. So
Yes.
actually, people who are looking for an apartment that or a townhouse actually
Yeah.
that can be rented out right away. We have the azaleas, and we will sell them with a renter inside because we have their bookings. But the beauty is also is I think it has also to do still with our square meter prices. We are
Yes.
building for 3,400 euros per square meter. I dare to say, although in the first phase of Las Vistas, it has given us a lot of problems. Honestly, yeah, I do not hide for that. We had a lot of problems in the construction because we had to teach all new teams how to build on a different way. The quality was good, but we had a lot of problems. We had delays. If I look now at the second phase, now you are from after sales. I think that goes very
Oh,
smooth.
yes, definitely.
But the quality of the houses that we have with the Sysmo system, because we don't build traditionally, we build with a Sysmo system. Yeah, the quality of the houses, I must say, that is one of the things I'm very proud of. And yeah, we delivered that for 3,400 euros per square meter, including the plot, including the pool, including the air conditioning, including the kitchen. So a complete house with plot and pool for 3,400 euros a square meter. I don't even think that if you buy a plot somewhere and you're going to build a house, you will not come to that price. So I think that is,
Yeah.
but it's also something that is where the resort is. Don't forget, and that's also the opportunity that people have now, is that um, once the green zones are there, once the Parador is going to be open, once the commercial center is going to be open, I have to increase the prices, and we are looking at 4,500 euros a square meter. If I look at my competition, for example, they are at around 7,000 euros a square meter. So we have still a long way to go, but the beauty is that the people who believe in us, who go with us, uh, they have then also the benefits of buying with us in an early stage, and that gives them then also the confidence of the capital appreciation. It's even so that until now we had clients that asked for very few, by the way, strangely enough, but we got valuations from the bank that were higher than our sales price. So that shows a bit what we are doing here. But Andrew, I mean,
Yes.
how does it go if then now someone wants to buy, they come with money and they get flabbergasted and presented the resort. They have decided to choose for a property.
Mhm.
What's going to happen then?
So from that point, when a client signs a reservation contract, they're passed over to us in the after sales department, where we will then decide or discuss, because here we have a good option here is flexibility, where we are able to discuss any structural changes that they would like to make, whether this would be moving.
Yeah, that is important that you
Yeah.
say that because that's one of the things that we do. All our clients, we let them choose their interior,
Correct.
but even we let them choose if they want to have structural modification to the
Correct.
house. And that is
Yeah.
something, I must say, quite exceptional, because normally you're fixed with the house and the interior, how you get it. And with us, that has given us also in the first phase some problems. But we are now structured and organized, and you have made a big difference, I must say. You are a big part
We've
of
learned
it.
a lot, and we've bettered, and we've made it even better.
Yes.
So here the key point is as well, is obviously the flexibility of it, of being able to change where a window goes, or change where a door goes, or change completely, I don't want the bathroom, put something else. That is a great option to have.
Especially when you buy off plan. I mean, it
Exactly.
needs to be the dream house.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah, there's a benefit as you buy off plan that you can change it.
Yeah.
And that is the problem if you have something, a key ready house, then you have to buy what you have.
It is what it is.
Yeah.
Yes.
Exactly. And then from that point on, once the client agrees those structural changes, we move on to the process of then doing the purchase contract.
Yeah.
Where the client will sign that purchase contract, we then open an online portal, which is something that is really good that we have, is an online portal where a client can choose the type of kitchen they would like, the color of the floor, additional extras that they would like to put in the property as well. There is a long list of optional extras that they can put in, so that when the property then is built and ready, when we hand over the property, it's almost pretty much ready to move in, to put in furniture. We can offer options on furniture and different things. But also one thing we'd like to point out as well is during the phase of the extras, we go through the plans, the electrical plans, the plumbing plans, to allow the client to, I want to put an extra socket, or I want to put an extra light point, or we give them that flexibility as well to do that. So that's at that point that once we have given them the option of, and they've chosen all their optional extras, we go through it with them, we close it off, and then we pass that over to our construction team to ensure that that gets carried out during the building phase.
And what is now the most common things that people do?
I'd say the most common things: light points, extra light points, moving light points, also things like pool heating. A lot of the clients are going for options of pool heating.
What's the cost of changing of a light point?
You're looking at about 80 euros, excluding VAT, for changing a light, which is, from my point of view, is a very reasonable
No, yeah,
price.
I'm asking that because actually I was looking at a property, and they was a luxury apartment, and they asked almost 1,000 euros for changing light points. I thought, I know for one thing that we are not charging 1,000 euros, so 80 euros.
A good additional thing as well is giving an option for solar panels, which I know is important. And the majority of the properties here, especially on Las Vistas, the owners have gone for solar panels. The solar panels being that they're obviously energy efficient as well, which is also an important thing.
Our houses are all A certified.
Correct.
So they all we have walls of 36 centimeters. For the ones that don't know our Sismo system, Sismo is not a prefabricated system. It's an industrialized system that gives us the flexibility to sit with Andrew to make some modifications with your house. So the house is then going to be defined. Then it goes to the architects. The architects finalize the plans.
Right.
They go back to you.
Yeah.
Then the clients sign them off together with you. And then actually they go to Sismo, and Sismo is then going to produce our house. We get them then of panels of 1.20 meters. They are wide, and they are 3.30 meters high. But the most important thing is they have prefixed 2 layers of insulation, and in the middle is an open space where we're going to pour into the concrete. With the reinforced by metal, but then that means that we merge our walls on our foundation with a 19 centimeters solid concrete wall with 2 layers of insulation, what is going to be covered then again with the final layer. So yeah, that makes a total wall of 36 centimeters, and yeah, that makes the house not just very comfortable in the summer, that really keeps out the heat, even with the big windows that we have, because we have huge windows, sliding doors. But also in the winter, cooling and heating of our houses is very well done. So that is something that they change as well.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay, fantastic. What other things can we talk about the sales after sales process?
The after sales process, in terms of everything else, we're not just there until they sign the purchase contracts and extra, but we're there when the property is actually delivered and past that as well. That's also important for us, is the service that we provide also after the property is delivered, helping our clients with whatever they may need or any questions, answering questions, walking through the property as well. Explaining.
I think this is what gives clients a lot of confidence as well, because we have a physical office on the resort. We're here a team of about 30 people. So that gives them confidence, and we're here to stay because we have 5 different projects which we're building as we speak. So compared to other developer, where perhaps maybe you're just given a phone number and an email to contact, we're actually physically here. So that gives a lot of confidence.
And something that we recently started to do is with finance. In the beginning, we didn't do finance. We actually were very rigid in our sales process. We did that for a reason. First of all, to slow down sales a bit, to be a bit more in control of that, also what needs to be built, and also having a kind of client on which that makes the resort also what it is. If I look now at the average client that we have, they match very good with each other, and this is one of the things that we are doing is building communities. If I look at, for example, Las Vistas, you will really see there a strong community, and we have built there also herb gardens. We have created outdoor areas, and you see that community function, and of course we want to do that in the bigger picture with the whole resort. So it's important to have, especially if you start with a resort like this, you always have climbing prices, and that will determine also your type of buyers. But if you in the ultra beginning do over finance a lot, that means you have a lot of opportunistic buyers, and that we could have lowered significantly. But now that we are getting in so many new phases, we offer now also finances. Finances during construction and finances after construction. I mean, I think that we finance now around 70-80% now with Cajamar and with Sabadell. And they have very interesting percentages at the moment. I think something of 3% now.
Yes.
Yeah. So that makes it more accessible, but also needed for the whole project, because still our plan is to build this resort in the coming 5 years. Again, we are not going to do this completely alone. That would be an undoable task. But the beauty is, if you create a nice concept and you create an identity like we have with our 3 lakes, our part where for the hotel and the sport facilities and the service departments and the residential, that makes it a unique concept. There are not many resorts especially like that. The leisure part is going to be driving the whole, let's say, service part of the resort and the golf course. That creates a project that
and I think it's also quite limited, our resort, because in the sense of homes, we're not going to build that many in the upcoming years. We're quite limited in that respect. That's why it's so amazing, because we have open spaces, and It's not the kind of resort that you would have
It's not a block where you
block
have
next
800
to-
houses.
Exactly.
Yeah, and that only the outer ring has some privacy and views. If you look at the
Yes.
project, if I look at the floor plan here in front of me, again, we only construct 9%. And that 9% determines that there's still a lot of space surrounding you. Yeah, that's one of the key ingredients of our resort. Now we're almost 3/4 of an hour further. We had planned also to answer some questions. I don't know if you got already some questions in or that people submit their questions. I see that someone is asking if there's going to be something to play football. Actually, yes. Next to the tennis and the paddle courts, we plan also to make a football pitch, especially looking at the World Cup coming to Europe. I think it's very important. And out of our out of our market studies, we got a lot of confirmation that people are not just looking for a house, but a healthy lifestyle is also very important. So yeah, we're going to focus on a lot of outdoor activities, outdoor sports, but also incorporating the nature area for horse riding, mountain biking. We have the beauty is I see often owners who have formed groups, hiking groups, with who they go through the mountains and having lunch somewhere in the mountains. So that's very nice. Let's see, what more do we have? Let's see, the location of the surf lake. Yeah, the location is going to be at the border in the middle. I don't know if someone has sees the map. It is going to be in the border in the middle, so around this area. I don't know if you can see that. So we have it now in the corner. That's probably not going to happen because of the floods. But that's why it's so important to do those studies because you're building something like this. It's a huge investment also for the future. So it's probably going to build in this region. What do we have more? When do we plan to finalize phase 3 of Las Vistas? I think it is planned July. No. Next year. The first bunch of houses are going to be the beginning of next year. And then we will have the latest ones a few months later. So let's say middle of next year, the last phase, the last houses will be finished. But actually, I think that we delivered already one house in phase 3.
Yes.
To someone.
Yeah.
So one house is already delivered. So actually, we are starting already with some houses for the delivering process. But we are finishing at this moment phase 2. Phase 2, the last house is going to be delivered in July. Yeah, it's the
beginning of July.
Yeah, the beginning of July. It's absolutely the last. So before the summer, phase 2 is completely ended, and then we have full focus on phase 3. Phase 3, of course, we have already started. Actually, some really big houses are going to be built there as well. I myself, I'm going to live there as well. I've bought the last plot in the corner. So some people are going to be my neighbor. I don't know if they like it, but I'm going to live there as well. But it shows also that I'm not just developing something. I think I can say that we have a lot of passion and love for this location and for this project. And I already live on the resort. My children grew up on this resort. And I'm very proud that I can build now my new home on this project. So yeah. Will be developed in the future. Some areas are scruffy right now. Now, yeah, I mean, we are a resort under development. So sometimes the golf course, of course, suffers from that. I think that full potential of the golf course will be done when everything is finished. Although we do absolutely our best to keep it as nice as possible. We have now finally, we are one of the projects with official water license, and that is, I cannot say that enough. I mean, there are a lot of projects that have no official water license, and it's not a problem as long as there is water. But if there comes a problem and there is no water, that has happened in Mushia, water is going to be cut off and your golf course is not going to get water. And we will not have that problem. We have an official water license, one of the few. It took some time, but we have finally got the lakes filled up now. Still, in my opinion, they could have a bit more cleaning, but that's all work on its way. And there are people like me who already fall in love with the house, with the resort as it is, but it's getting better every month. I see a lot of things changing, and also the people of the golf. If I look at Charlie Perkins, the professor, the golf professor we have, I mean, this guy is so passionate about his game and helping people. And we made a lot of videos with him as well. So everyone involved in this resort is not just looking at it, something that we need to do. Now everyone is very passionate about it. How many people are full-time living on the resort? Actually, quite a lot.
Yes, I think
Quite a big percentage.
Yeah.
Because we are, although we have a big leisure part that we're going to have on the resort, a big chunk of the people, I think maybe 80%.
Yeah.
Is that correct if I say 80%? That is living or is going to live permanently on the resort. So yeah, there's a lot of people. Again, like Maddie said, choosing our resort because of the location, quality of course, prices, but the location of the resort is fantastic to live because you can move very easily to everywhere. You need a car, but everything is very accessible.
Yeah.
It will be even better if the commercial center is opened with the shops. What's going to happen now? Finally. But still, I mean, if I look at Ironman, I can get all my groceries there, and it is a 7-minute ride to Alberca, where I have the Leroy Merlin, and I have the Mercadona, and I have all the supermarkets next to me. So yeah, what other questions do we have? Are you allowed to have a barbecue in the garden? Yes.
100%.
100%. I mean,
and
we just had an
amazing barbecue. Actually, we can do building. We can.
We can get you very good prices of the barbecues because
Yes.
we know someone
We know
who
someone.
does something in barbecues. No, but you can have barbecues. Of course, there are some limitations if you want to place it against your neighbor's house or build it that you cannot do. But our gardens are spacious enough, our terraces are spacious enough to have a barbecue. So yes, I have 5 barbecues in my garden. So yeah.
Well, that's a bit too much then.
Let's see, which Spanish and European sustainability standards does this project comply with, and how the impact of long-term value? Yeah, that's a very good question. We have been tested by Braham. Braham is a certification about sustainability. Actually, we even won the Sustainable Award. We won also last year, next to the luxury, also the Innovation Award, because we have a double infrastructure in the resort. So we catch up rainwater. We are making green roofs. We are making A-certified houses. We are, even from the roofs, we are collecting rainwater. So yeah, I mean, we do everything. We work a lot with solar panels.
Plus, there's no waste on our construction because we
Sismo, Sismo is on. As you say, we built exactly the size that we have sold. So we are not hacking away for putting in the pipelines. So that is very good that we have less construction waste. So yeah, of course, for the future, what does it mean for your house? I mean, we are one of the few projects that is building this way. It's a bit more expensive for us. It gave us headache. Now it is working for us because now we are going very fast and very smooth. And so every time we are learning. But for the future, it means also if you have a sustainable house and you want to resell your house, yeah, next to the fact that of course your price will rise because of the resort is getting more complete, but you differentiate yourself also with a house that is traditionally built. With all respect, I mean, I live in a house that's now traditionally built. If it rains, I get cracks every time. And every time we need to repair it again, and I have humidity problems. Yeah, these are problems that we don't have in our houses. So,
And it's incredible, one thing that our clients notice when they come to visit the resort, because although we're constructing so much, there's no cranes.
Yeah.
no,
So it's a very clear environment. I mean, we only have one crane right now on the resort with Parador because obviously it's
Yes.
all construction, so
Yeah.
it's required. But it's actually incredible because you go in other resorts where there's like 5, 6, 10 projects, and it's overwhelming because when you enter there, you have this boom impact of heavy machineries and cranes everywhere. And yeah, I had clients who were like, well, yeah, but where is the cranes? I mean,
yeah, and
how do
also the speed. And now that we are up to speed, if you now see, for example, we have started with the Santolino
Oh
145.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's going very.
I mean,
yeah.
I haven't been a week in that direction, and I see a house. So that makes a huge difference as well. So what do we have more? If you don't pick them, I pick them.
Yeah, can we visit the resort?
Can we visit the resort and apartment if we go there any day? Yeah, you can always visit us. We are always open. Not as much as I wanted to, but Muddy wants to go home once in a while, and I didn't found yet a digital Muddy that's opening the door. But we are from Monday to Saturday. We are open. If you can visit the apartments, of course. I mean, but they are the older construction of the past. Although it's a very nice project as well. But yeah, anyone can visit us, can play golf, can visit the restaurants.
You can also stay over. We have the townhouses available. We also have Villa Fidel if you wish to rent out and try out one of our houses. So
Yeah,
it's options there are.
good. Did I understand correctly that the first phase of the Parador will be open January, February? Yes, the construction will be finished in September with a maximum, but we hope to do it in September, and I will also explain why September. The construction company got the clear order that it needed to be ready in September because we have also the Romeria, and that's an old tradition because we have our own Virgin in our church from 1640. And there is also a Virgin in the town of Baños and Mendigo, and the old tradition is that those two virgins meet each other for good luck, and they are then guided by horsemen and women with chariots, and it's a big festivity organized also with the companies surrounding us and the villages surrounding us, and that is in September. So we really hope to do the baptizing of the church, the reopening with that. So that is in September, but then we are going to be open with an operator, probably or December or January. That's what they told me.
But whoever is here now, we really appreciate your time.
But you're still there.
That you're still there.
No, it's very. I think it's very nice. What we want to do is, because what we try to advocate is also be transparent. We have hired a filmmaker that is filming all the processes that we are doing, and we're even going to show the things and mention the things if things do not go as well as we plan, because that happens. If you're building such a big resort, it's impossible that it goes perfect. Like our webinar, it will not go perfect, but we are back and we are still here.
Yes.
But because I think that we consider it also as our responsibility, because we ask people to come and live with us. And we ask people to invest with us and to trust us. So I think it's also our job to present who are we, what do we do, and not just beautiful sales pitches with promises, but also, okay, this is the reality, this is what we are doing at the moment, this is where we are, and I think that we're doing quite well. I mean, the resort is really starting to look very nice. I mean, I really love to live here, and I'm really proud that we can do this, and also the team that we are building. I mean, Andrew, you are now with us how long?
4 months.
4 months. And he's made a huge difference in our client communications and organization. So we are really proud of you. Now you have double. I only pay one. We have 2 of you. Yeah, but we have a team of almost 30 people in the office. We do everything in-house. We have our own architects, our own construction direction. And we work a lot with subcontractors. We have also next to the 30 we have in the office, we have about 50 people also of our own on the construction side. So we've grown also quite a lot, and that comes also with pain, I need to say. But that anyone who's watching this has built a company, it doesn't go everything perfect. But we are here, and I just saw a client who got his house, who was sitting with you. And I think, then that makes me proud to see those people so happy. They trusted us. They bought something on a piece of paper, and we have built it, and now they're getting in their house. That is, I every time, that's for me a magical moment. Do we have any more questions? When I bring my retired father of 88 years old to the resort, is there a medical support in the close area? Yeah, it's a very good question. Actually, we have, that's one of our features as well. We're going to build our own medical center within the resort. We have quite some doctors living on the project who are really interested in participating in that. Again, we don't do everything ourselves. We do everything with partners. But we have now 10 minutes away is Arizaka Hospital, one of the top hospitals of Spain. I mean, I'm every time surprised about the services. We have in Gaya Triols, we have a medical center. We have in Banhas Mendigo, we have a medical center. So actually surrounding us, there are sufficient medical support, and I must say the Spanish medical support is really, really, if I compare it with Holland, then I think that we can be very proud of what we have here.
Is efficient and affordable as well.
Yes.
If you go for private insurance, is extremely
affordable. And I just had a friend who had his hand operated. I mean, he thought that he needed to wait half a year, and the week after that he visited the doctor, he got already a hand operation, and he's recovering now. So why should the foreign invest, especially in this project? What are the forecast appreciation aspects here with this project? Now, you buy now for 3,400 euros per square meter. My competition is selling between 6,000 and 7,000, 8,000 euros a square meter. So you automatically will join the capital appreciation of the resort. You will have a project that is growing. I always say, for the price that you're paying now, and the service that we have, you already have a good deal. Now, if we are then going to build all those extra facilitations, it's only getting better, and it's making a really solid support of your capital appreciation and the resale value. And again, Mushia is really changing. Mushia is really getting into the picture. I mean, we had last month, how many Americans? 8?
We have the group of 12.
A group of 12,
Yes,
but we have
yeah.
8
And
individual,
we've
next to
also
it,
had,
8 individual
yes,
clients.
yes.
So, because Mushia is getting also more touristical, interesting. So yeah, you're buying in the beginning of an area where future is going to be built. I mean, who wouldn't like to be in the early buyers of a house in Porto Banús in Marbella, of in any other, or in Marbella, or in Malaga, or in Barcelona, or any big city that has gone through the same phase that we are going now at this moment. So yeah. I figure that's not a question, but it's very nice.
You.
Yeah, thank you very
Yes.
much for
Thank
that,
you, Mark.
for Mark, for the transparency. Yes, we do our best, Mark, and yeah. And again, I mean, we are here to answer all the questions and not just try to make sales stories. Is there enough workspace for kids? Yes. I think that I mean, my children grew up here on the resort. They were born here on the resort. So at least they were children who played a lot outside in the mountains. I mean, yeah, I get a smile on my face if I think about how the youth that I gave my children. But the 16 years is always the most difficult ones, of course, because they're in between the two worlds. But yes, we are going to have, of course, a lot of sports facilities for them. In the commercial center, there are some things planned for them near to the Parador. So yeah, if they are active and next to a bar, they like also outdoor activities. And then yeah, again, we have Mushia, we have everything what is for us interesting is for them also interesting. No more. We have so many questions. Thank you very much, everyone. But I think that there comes a moment that we need to end.
Yes.
We already are 10 minutes longer than we plan to do. But that happens normally when I start to talk. So that's nothing new. I want to thank everyone that they visited us. We're going to repeat this. We're going to highlight then certain projects that we go deeper dive and showing more detailed information. You can imagine that for our leisure center, what we're going to build there and with who we're going to do that, that we have a lot of information, market studies, designs, the companies, and as I said, with the ring I'm walking around, with the longevity center, with Gary Brecka, a very famous American. We are with some very famous doctors that want to join us in our project. So there's really a lot of exciting things to have a deeper dive, not only for the leisure, also the phases that we're going to build. I think that we can have also a webinar about just Oasis or just the last houses of Las Vistas, or what are we going to do with the apartments with services, who's going to give the service, what type of services, and to go more deeper dive. But I liked it very much, and I felt very secure with you two next to me. I'm very proud that I could do this, and again, hope to see you next time. And we're very happy to do this.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Have a lovely evening.
Thank you very much.